Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have kids, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee.
You sure? It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the morning grind. It is going to be a great day, and it's going to be a great morning here. So I'm seeing lots of people here. Desist Dawdling says, "Morning, glad you took last night off. Don't wear yourself down." Well, thank you. We went late last night with later than I was expecting, but it was really great with analyzing the PhD dissertation on IP law, specifically regarding the OGL. And then I started doing some cleaning, but I did just kind of chill. But really, I got back at it. It was enough to get to sleep and get back at it this morning. Up early, answering the call to adventure at 4:45 in the morning. I was here working at 5 again, so trying to get back on schedule after all of this that has happened. So I was also checking the Twitter before I came on, and I haven't seen that there was anything particularly new to talk about. Like, I think that our next big thing will be any kind of Wizards release. So no new information there on the OGL. Retro Nerd Girl, good morning. Retro Nerd Girl. It is good to see you. Retro Nerd Girl did her first live stream last night. I was watching some of it. I didn't get to watch all of it, but I did tune in to watch Retro Nerd Girl's first live stream and face reveal. So if you're not following Retro Nerd Girl, you should definitely do that. Retro 7x7 is here. Oh, get some coffee. I have got because I feel like I needed something different. So this is uncharacteristic, but I was out this morning and I got some energy drink here. So Bubba is here. Good morning, all. Roll for Combat is here. Hey, Roll for Combat. This is Steven, and we're saying he's just been an absolute hero with everything that he's been doing as far as breaking stuff on the OGL. And hey, he's Geekverse says, I'm going to be interviewing Bob. So if you're not following Roll for Combat, definitely follow Roll for Combat. It's amazing. I thought that this... I know I've got a little bit of an echo over here. And I was trying to solve that problem this morning, and I thought I solved it. And I didn't. So what just we have? I don't think it's too bad. I was also working on solving the technical problem for the Crafter's Corner, and somebody sent me some other software I might be able to use. So we will see about that. Okay. It's the auxiliary camera system. But anyway, okay. So we are going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the Mage in the Mirror today. So this is, I just got this in, so I want to see what's going on with this because HeroQuest is one of my favorite games. It's a family favorite game. Played a lot of HeroQuest, and as you know, been painting it up. We've been doing this on the Dinner and a Board Game show. I'm working on doing a new pilot for Dinner and a Board Game, which will be in a live format. We'll be playing HeroQuest. I'm going to try solo. I'm going to try my new pilot as a solo game, and I want to play HeroQuest. So I've been painting up the new miniatures for the solo versions on the Crafter's Corner. So I have that, and we're going to get that ready to go. We'll get that. I want to open it up today so I can move that into the priming, get that spray painted, and then get it on the gaming table. Oh, Roll for Combat says, I didn't know they were doing a new HeroQuest, as I love it. Well, yeah, they re-released HeroQuest, through like the Hasbro Pulse system or something like that. But I didn't back the new release. Because I already owned HeroQuest. I still have my HeroQuest box from the very day that I got it on Christmas morning the year it came out. So I still had my system in my original game system in great condition, and the Kellar's Keep expansion and the Return of the Witch Lord expansion. But they never released Mage in the Mirror, I believe, in the US. I never had this one. I never had this one or the Barbarian Pack. And so when they re-released it, I did order the new releases. So that just showed up. So first of all, we should breathe. Remember, this is going to improve your life. If you're here, you got your drink, you got your favorite beverage. So we're going to breathe in, deep inhale, and then exhale. Do it with me. It'll be an improvement. You'll improve your life. And then take a sip of your beverage. Much better. Much better. Roll for Combat says, my parents threw out all of my HeroQuest. I have heard so many horror stories like that about HeroQuest. As I've been posting material on HeroQuest, I got a bunch of HeroQuest videos on the channel. And I've seen that from so many people. And it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. Falco says it was only released in the U.S. Yes, there were, and different components in the original were released in different areas. Where's Mind Pulse? Good morning, Matt. Good to see you. Hey, let's go to the morning messages, and then we'll do this unboxing. The Morning Grind is brought to you by World Anvil. For all the RPG players out there, World Anvil offers extensive character management, including character sheets, journals, inventory, and spellbook. Everything a player looking to lose themselves in their character could want. Use the code MORNINGGRIND to get 40% off yearly subscriptions. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the world of Ataltis. The Ataltis Game Master's Guide includes brand new rules for hauntings, magical corruption, goodwill, character resolve, skill specialties, and more. Check it out on Ataltis.com and get it for your table. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the Thrones and Bones Viking-inspired fantasy RPG setting. Sagas of Norengard features 7 adventures designed for characters of levels 3 to 8. With the adventures in the campaign book, you have 1st to 8 level adventures ready to go. Get the books on DriveThruRPG today. And thank you for being here with me live on The Morning Grind. And if you're watching on replay, welcome to you as well. It's great to have you here. If you're enjoying The Morning Grind, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I would be very thankful. We also have the Ravenkeep Discord server you can join if you would like to be a part of the community. All right, that's what you need to know. Let's get to the main topic. By the way, I was going to say also that I was working on clipping the long live stream from yesterday. I don't typically, according to the schedule, live stream on Thursday nights. So Thursday nights I'm supposed to have off anyway. So we're doing this morning, and then I've got a bunch of other things to do anyway. But I'm clipping the topics from the reading of the dissertation yesterday, and also my response to the Roll for Combat interview with Ryan Dancy, because I realize that there's information in there that a lot of people are not going to watch the 3-hour, 40-minute live stream. But I'm trying to clip that by subject so it can come out. And that's going. So there will be clips of that coming out on the channel for the rest of the day and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. So if you're subscribed to the channel, which I hope you are, and you already watched that live stream, well, then you probably saw all these clips. I don't know how many there'll be, but there'll be 6 or 7 or something like that, probably. But if you didn't, or you need information on a particular topic, you'll be able to get to that directly. So that is also happening right now. Oh, Matt says, I broke down and bought Guardian Knights on eBay for $300. Wow. I have not done that because I missed that, because I decided, I'm not going to back this because I've already got my original system. There were some things then that I missed. And the Guardian Knight is one of them. I have not gone in for some kind of massive eBay purchase yet. The Druid, I do want the Druid too, but I heard the Guardian Knight or something may come back. Then when it came out, I put it away and found Guardian Knights already there. I forgot I broke down a few months ago. You did? Oh, when it came out, I put it away and I found Guardian Knights already there. Man. Vision says you're a champ for grinding through all that. Well, you guys were thank you for staying with me and giving me the energy to get it done. Thank you. And Desist Dawdling says, I've been watching your dice videos and they're very insightful. Can you share your math formulas for the calculations? I think I've got it. Maybe. I'd have to remember what they are. I might be able to share the spreadsheet. They might not exist though. I'll have to look up and see. All right, so let's bring up the auxiliary camera right here. Auxiliary camera system, go auxiliary camera. There we go. All right. So here is the Mage of the Mirror expansion. One thing that I noticed immediately was that it didn't come shrink wrapped. It's not a shrink wrapped box. It's got this. Oh look, it's got some type of wrapper on it, but it didn't come shrink wrapped. So I thought that was interesting. So the Mage of the Mirror pack says the mirror is the key to saving the Princess Melandriel and the realm from evil. In this exciting expansion to the HeroQuest adventure, you are challenged to confront the diabolical Archmage Sinestra. As the elf, you must first survive dangerous solo quests to prove your strength and valor before you are joined by a few heroes to rescue Melandriel. You will recover a legendary sword, free 2 of the Queen's attendants, and navigate safely through the treacherous maze. Only then will your fellow heroes join you to gain access to the Glennis Fen, and pass through the mirror to the realm of reflection to free the princess. So I've got, it says all these things that are in it. I think years ago, I downloaded this. I did find a PDF of the adventure or something like that. I know we never played the Barbarian pack because I didn't have it because it wasn't released where I was, I'm pretty sure. And there may have been a PDF. I think at one time we were looking for new hero quests. I found the PDF of this. So we might have played a couple of these quests, but I know I've never played the solo quests. So this comes with a whole bunch of miniatures. The wolves, I remember. Oh, this ogres? We're going to have to see. But then also, I thought this was neat. I was like, wait a minute, this comes with more furniture. And so it says furniture specially designed for the elven world. So in this game, you do cross over into the mirror world of the elves, and there you go. So it's new furniture that's specifically designed to mirror the HeroQuest furniture, except for it's designed with an elf-like whatever, elf-like decor. All right, let's open this up. So let's see how this works here. There we go. Yep, go auxiliary camera. That's exactly what we should have said. Yeah, Desist Dawdling says, I just looked this up. HeroQuest Online, it's under Hasbro, so it saves me some money. Haha. Yeah, I ordered this before all of that debacle. And I thought about that because, yeah, this is, see, it's Avalon Hill. So this is, so who's now publishing Avalon Hill, or publishing HeroQuest is Avalon Hill. But Avalon Hill is owned by Hasbro, right? And so this was actually, it was originally put out by Milton Bradley. So like my, and Games Workshop. So my original box, I believe, has Milton Bradley on it. But I bought this, pre-ordered this before all of that debacle. But, you know, your mileage may vary. I'm still going to play HeroQuest, so I've got the boxes. I've already got the boxes, and we love the game. So HeroQuest, free companion app, and we did take a look at the companion app on one day here on the grind, and I want to use that. That's what I'm going to use as the solo quest in order to run the solo quest for dinner and a board game. Can you check to see if you still have the miniatures? Yep. Vision asks, can you add this type of game? Add to this type of game with your own miniatures? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And we did that quite a bit. We didn't do as much house ruling as a lot of people do have done with HeroQuest. But we did some, and one of the things we needed to do was add more heroes, because when my family got together, we generally had like 6 heroes or something, like 7 people playing 6 heroes. So I mean, that was back in the day that we used like Ral Partha miniatures to be extra heroes. So you absolutely can. Yeah, this game is definitely a classic. HeroQuest was my introduction to tabletop fantasy gaming. So this game is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing now. When I saw the advertisement, and you can go back and see the original advertisement from the 1980s on YouTube. When I saw that, you know, your mother is always like, you know, your parents are always like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? Well, when I saw that advertisement, I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I want for Christmas. So I was always watching for another ad on television. And then when it came on, would yell, mother, 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 mother. Here it is. Here it is. This is it. Try to get her in the room to watch that advertisement, or the end of me like, that is exactly what I want. So, and I got it. And it's been influential on life ever since, majorly influential. So Vision, yep, we've got tiles here. So this looks like expansion tiles for HeroQuest. We got, these are the trap doors. I remember, so this looks like, pit traps here, except for the pit traps in the original game are just one space. So the pit traps here are double spaces. We've got some type of extra room overlay for the board. And by the way, I did create a 3D HeroQuest board out of foam, jumbo sized. So my HeroQuest board is on here on the channel, making my HeroQuest board. We made it out of foam, brick by brick, individual bricks. The skulls are supposed to indicate hit points damage to your foes. Something about the wolves here, but we got wolf miniatures, I believe. A potion, a key, and the princess, which have to do with quest objectives. And something about some loot. I'm remembering that, so I must have played a couple of these quests, because something about you got to find like somebody's loot or something like that, and also some items in order to free the princess. Yeah, it's like the prospector, his loot or something. So reversed as well, secret doors, single pit traps, other loot, and so forth, and another kind of room right here. Let me try to keep this organized. Oh, more stand-ups. Oh, this is cool. So this is the mirror. I remember this too. So you're going to be going into the mirror world. So instead of going through a door, you can use your stand-up doors. I'll have to see how this works with my 3D jumbo-sized board. But we've got doors or mirrors that you can put in the door stand-ups. So when you go into the mirror world, you know that you're going through mirrors. I guess player handouts, you know, items to say what players have. And then this is some type of background. Now, I didn't remember this from any other type of HeroQuest expansion, but this pop out right here that would make like a 3D stand-up for a room. Might have to figure out how, we'll have to definitely figure out how that all works with my jumbo board. Might have to make room inserts for this. But I don't know what's in the solo play. I'm just going to work on what's on the solo play. Okay, we got the quest book in some paper here. I'm going to set that aside for just a moment. We're not going to look at any kind of spoilers for the quest or anything like that. But we will open it up and see what the quest is all about. So here is, that's this. overlay insert. I've never seen one like that. Oh, well, we do have, that's interesting. When you take that off, I don't want everything to fall out. We do have quite a different back of this, because the back with that I don't know what you call it, the wrapper or whatever, told us what was all inside. But this one is all about the story here. The Elven King is in the Elven Kingdom is in turmoil. Though Queen Terelia appears outwardly strong, she is privately overcome by panic at the abduction of her daughter, Princess Melandriel, a heinous act of cowardice that has brought her unimaginable pain. The young princess, just 5 years old, has been kidnapped. The queen has confided in me that she received a ransom note from her own sister, the Archmage Sinestra. As horrible as that seems, Sinestra is responsible for the kidnapping of the princess and is demanding that Terelia abdicate the throne to turn over all of her power to her. Until that happens, the queen will not be reunited with her beloved daughter. The queen has asked me to search for a brave elven hero who can rescue the princess from Sinestra's stronghold at Glennis Fen. But much more is at stake than simply the safety of sweet Melandriel, for it is believed that Zargon is lurking behind Sinestra's cruel plot. A courageous elf must step forward to successfully complete a special set of challenges that will rescue Melandriel from danger and save the realm from peril. So that's the story that we've got here. Welcome, everybody. So the mirror is the key to saving Princess Melandriel and the realm from evil. In this exciting expansion to the HeroQuest adventure, you are challenged to confront the diabolical Archmage Sinestra. As the elf, you must first survive dangerous solo quests to prove your strength and valor before you are joined by your fellow heroes to rescue Melandriel. You will recover a legendary sword, free 2 of the queen's attendants, and navigate safely through a treacherous maze. Only then will your fellow heroes join you to access Glennis Fen and pass through the mirror of the realm of reflection to free the princess. Sounds like a cool adventure. Sounds like a cool adventure to go on. Okay, so now back to where we were. The Barbarian expansion, we did an unboxing of that one too. The Frozen Horror wasn't packaged like that. It was packaged more traditionally with shrink wrap. Okay, so here we go. So we have got, we'll pull these out, but we've got a bunch of figures up here. And as I recall, there are elves in here that these are like some of the bad guys, but you may be able to, like they're charmed or something like that, and you may be able to get them back on your side. So we've got, looks like, well, we'll look at them here in just a moment. And then so here are also the new furniture. Oh, those are the stand-ups right there, the bases for the mirror. New cards. I love cards. We'll look at the cards too. So, Elven Warriors. So we've got Elven Warriors with a sword. And this does introduce Elven Warriors with a bow. Right? So this actually, there isn't a lot of ranged combat in HeroQuest. You can get the crossbow, like according to the rules as written, according to the raw. There aren't a lot of ranged combat in HeroQuest. You can get the crossbow as a hero, but in the standard game, bad guys aren't attacking by range. But that changes, I believe, in this quest expansion, because now we have enemy elves that work for Sinestra that have bows. So they can attack you from range. So we've got 2 different kinds of elves. Actually, no, we've got elves with swords. But we do have male elf with sword, and that's a female elf with sword. So they might be statistically the same, but we do have male and female elf sculpts with 2-handed swords. And then does that mean the same thing here? I think so. Yeah, this elf looks female to me. So we also have male and female elf archers. So that's pretty cool. Retro Nerd Girl says, I'm loving the story here. I know that it makes me want to get into it. It really does. Draco says, Dehi Draco says, HeroQuest, where all adventures started. Nostalgia, LOL. That's exactly what we're talking about. This is where my adventure started. Ben Game and Game says, thanks, Heath. Always good to hear from you. I can't wait to get this expansion to sell it at our game store. We are playing the base game as part of Game Night Friday. Perfect. I mean, it sounds like I'm so glad. I did a video asking if Hasbro botched the release of HeroQuest. Right. This was back when they, several months ago. And it was because as somebody who had the original game, when I went to see what they were releasing, and it was like, when it's the same game, it's just got different art in it and new miniatures, and I happen to like the art style of the original game and the miniature style better anyway. I was like, there's nothing for me to buy. Now, there were a few other things, so I didn't back it, that I missed because it wasn't because it was on that page, and you can't just buy in retail. And like Matt was talking about, going in for a whole bunch of money on eBay to get them now. But actually, I'm very happy that the original base game system has been released, because even though it is a simple game, it's introducing. I see on the internet all the time that new generations of gamers are being introduced to the fantasy tabletop genre because HeroQuest is available again. And actually, I did the same thing with my nephews. Was that last weekend? I mean, it was New Year's. For New Year's, I took my jumbo-sized HeroQuest board over to my brother's house, and we all played HeroQuest, my 3 nephews and my brother. And we all played the original HeroQuest and introduced them to fantasy gaming, and it was fantastic. Okay, so those are the elf heroes. Oh, we didn't look at Sinestra. So we also have the... Oh, wait. Does this help? See, I think this is the one that people were... This light was the one that people were telling me was too much glare on the other book, but it might help us look at miniatures. So this right here is the Archmage. She's cool. And then this game comes with the female elf hero. So the original box game comes with the male elf. And so this is the female elf sculpt. Maybe I'm getting too much light here. Let's see. Maybe that's better. Maybe that is better. I'll turn this light up one. So that we got the female elf sculpt for the heroes. So like we got the female barbarian in the barbarian pack. Cool new furniture. So this is the elf-themed elf decor bookshelf. 2 of those. The best thing about HeroQuest is the furniture, right? So we've got the furniture here. I like that. And then I always thought as a kid, I mean, what was the coolest part of the furniture overall? It was the weapon stand, right? Because when you saw that, you're like, oh my God, I've got to go in there and search for treasure. Maybe I can get some new weapons. So this is a new weapon stand that is elf themed. I think that's pretty neat. We also have an elf themed fireplace. Now, because I didn't back the new release, I didn't get the new release. All of the furniture that I play with is all still the cardboard stand-ups. So I've got the cardboard version. We painted all the plastic when we were painting the sets. But these are actually all plastic. So like my bookshelves are cardboard stand-ups, and so is my fireplace. So now these versions are actually cast plastic miniatures. I love game cards, but I'm going to look at game cards next. Let's see if there's something else under here. Yes, of course there is. More miniatures. Vision says, my uncle had this. I was 10-ish when I first saw HeroQuest. I remember the cool miniatures. Well, I think that was the original HeroQuest. Probably was. Oh, is this making you feel old? Oh. If I can get more focus, that would be good too. Well, maybe. It's going to... this is an iPad. The auxiliary camera system right now is an iPad. So it's going to have to... If somebody knows... I've said this a couple of times, but one of the upgrades I need to do is upgrade the auxiliary camera. This is a better camera than I had because I was using like this webcam here. And I thought this was a good webcam for the auxiliary camera, but it's not. But I really need a good just webcam that's high definition that can do exactly this, that just plugs into USB. I really need it. And I thought I bought one with that, and it was not. So if anybody knows that, like, send me the link, please, in the Discord server. Oh, I should put the Discord server link in here. If anybody knows what solution I need, that would be hugely helpful. Otherwise, it'll be more experimentation on my part. So right now, the auxiliary camera is an iPad, which does have much better is a better camera, but there's still problems with it. Cal says, I have most of the original ones, missing 2 of the rarest boxes. Yeah, there were boxes that I was missing too because they were not released. I think I had everything that was released in the US, but the weapon stands were definitely cool. But yeah, so I'm glad because I never had these. So I'm glad they re-released them. LOL, the best thing about HeroQuest. Haha, I love that video. That's a freaking fantastic video. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got the wolves. Actually, these wolves kind of remind me of the Zombicide werewolves. We've got Zombicide werewolves. I believe these are ogres here, and then more furniture. Nothing down here in that tray. I wonder if that was supposed to be dice. So let's take a look at this. We've got the wolf. And this does introduce the double hexed or the double space creatures. In the original HeroQuest box in the game system, none of the monsters are more than 1 space. So the werewolf becomes a 2-space creature. So we have 2 werewolves. No, excuse me, we have 3 werewolves. We've got a lot of these ogres. Now, I remember that one of the concerns, and I wonder if they changed this, is that there was some packs that were just horrifically unbalanced. And it might have had to do with these ogres. So I wonder if they've changed things in this pack or if that ogres can still just run over you. So we've got only 1 ogre sculpt, but we've got 4 ogres. And the ogre is just 1 space as well. I guess it doesn't, the ogre might be like 4 spaces, but that doesn't make sense. So 4 spaces wouldn't work in the game. 2 probably kind of barely works. So having the ogre here be 1 space makes sense. I'm looking forward to painting them up. We're going to slap chop these. Still working on that technique with the speed paints. Cal says, I can watch the Bard's video on loop. Oh, and you say the wolves look a bit plain? Do they? They're textured. All the fur and stuff. But you know what? I like the original HeroQuest sculpts and all of that. But, so these are new sculpts, but I do like what's inside this box. I especially like these ogres and the wolves. Well, and Sinestra is pretty cool. But what I always appreciated about the original HeroQuest miniatures, and I appreciate about this and also the ogre sculpt here, is that it's not overly detailed. I mean, some of the stuff that I get from Games Workshop now, and I actually haven't gotten a lot from Games Workshop a long time, to me is too much because I do separate. See, I think this is a ideal level of detail here on this ogre for a tabletop miniature that's intended to be a game piece and intended to be enjoyed or enjoy the painting process for people who are not experts. Because, I mean, I can really go to town on some miniatures if I want to. And there's some stuff that I painted that I'm really proud of if you take all the time. But I don't have time for that today. And now my painting philosophy is that I want to be able to get entire boxes of miniatures, like an entire board game, painted up. And so in order to do that, I can't take, hours and hours per miniature. I want to be able to open up the box, see that it's painted, enjoy my time painting, just enjoy some time painting like we've been doing on the Crafter's Corner, but like be able to watch something or watch a movie or something like that and paint something. And to me, the current Games Workshop stuff, a lot of it anyway, I open up and I go, oh my God, I got to assemble all this stuff. I got to put it all together. That's going to take a lot of time. So I can't just paint. First of all, I got to get to assembly. And then it's so detailed that's like this consumes all of my attention and I just have to deal with one. That's just not the direction I'm currently going with painting. I like to be able to open it up, go, oh, wow, this is a great looking miniature. I don't have to assemble it. I'm going to prime it, and then I'm going to enjoy painting it. I've been working on the speed paint technique, so that's even more ideal, right? So like the speed painting thing, that I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to paint some stuff up, and at the end of the session, I'm actually going to have miniatures and like a whole box that can be played at the table. Because once you start playing with painted miniatures, once you play the game with painted miniatures, I don't want to go back. I painted up the Zombicide box. I love painting. I love having the entire game painted on the table because that's the whole effect. If they're tabletop quality, so they're not going to examine, take minuscule examination, but they're not supposed to. The effect is the entire game is painted sitting there on the table in front of you at a distance of 3 feet. New Elven Throne. I especially like that piece. That's a really neat upgrade to the throne. The Elven themed throne. Very nice. Treasure chests. And of course, the treasure chest. The other thing, of course, if it's not the weapon rack, then you want to see the treasure chest in the room. And it was exactly that way with my nephews on New Year's Eve. They were after the treasure chest. Oh, when the treasure chest shows up, they were after it. My youngest nephew was playing the elf, and all he wanted to do was, if he saw a door, he was charging toward the door and opening it. So there was no optimal play strategy going on here. My brother was playing one of the heroes too, and so he was trying to manage the heroes. But if there was a door to open, the elf would charge through it. If there was a treasure chest, they would go for it, right? And one of them said, my brother was saying, you got to attack this Chaos Warrior. Are you really going to let that Chaos Warrior kill your brother? And the youngest nephew was like, yeah, I am. And he was charging for the other door. They didn't quite understand the working together part of it. So that's so much fun. Now here is the Alchemist bench. And I always loved alchemy as a kid, for whatever reason. We talked about Dragon Lord. We're going to play Dragon Lord on one of the Tuesday night game streams, because Dragon Lord, that game, you got to play an alchemist, and that was fantastic. It's this ancient game, right? When I find a way to do that, I'm going to play that. But because I just like alchemy so much, I was science oriented anyway, and so here is alchemy being like science, but with magic in a fantasy setting. And so I always loved seeing the Alchemist's bench in HeroQuest. So now here is the elf-styled Alchemist bench. I think that is cool. Hey, DM Toolbox. Good to see you. Cal says fast, but just tabletop ready, or as I say, table slop ready. I like that. DM Toolbox says, so this is the new HeroQuest from the Kickstarter. This is the Elf Quest pack, which was recently released, but I'm going to say re-released, because this was a pack that was originally released during the original HeroQuest release back in the late 80s, or this might have been like 1990 or something like that. So this is a re-release of one that came out years and years ago. I pre-ordered it because I never had this pack as a kid back then. So this is not part of the Kickstarter, but it's part of the new re-release that wasn't Kickstarter technically, but the crowdfunding. So this is a re-release of that box that's associated with all of that. Yeah. Andrew says, I don't mind unpainted if they keep the mold simple enough. They could cast them in chocolate. That way you could eat them when they come off the table. Somebody had a great idea that they were using I was talking in the chat, that they used M&Ms for all the bad guys, and they're different colors. You can say the green one, I'm attacking the red one or whatever, and then when they're defeated, you can just eat them. So it looks like we got more doors. Oh no, the portcullis. That's right. So this quest pack introduces the portcullis into the game. So, or the gate. They might just call it a gate, but we have gates here. So that changes something in HeroQuest, because here is something you cannot move through, but you can see through it. So you can cast spells through it, and you can shoot arrows through it. I guess I did play a bit more of this than I remember, because as I'm getting this out, I am remembering more. So this is some other doors here. Elf-looking door, closed door, and elf-looking closed iron door. Okay. And then, oh, it opens. So this is the elf style tomb. So that's pretty neat. But then also it opens up. Now, see, mine was just the cardboard one with a plastic top on it from the original set. So it didn't open up. Now this one opens up. So I wonder if we should put something like some kind of skeleton or something in there. I guess they didn't go the macabre route and put something dead in there, but we might do something like that when I paint it up. That sounds like fun. Maybe I can find a skeleton or something that I don't need to put in there. I bet I could before it gets primed. So got that. I wonder if does anybody know if the re-released HeroQuest set also opens? Does the tomb open on the re-release set? Desist Dawdling says, are those actually made to be painted? They look shiny. Have you looked into a 3D printer at all? Yeah, they're made. I mean, they're made to be painted. Now, they got to be primed. I got to prime these things. So that's why I want to go ahead and open this up, because this has got to move to priming outside, and then they can move to the painting table. But yeah, these have got to be primed, but they can be painted. DM Toolbox, I would love to get the new HeroQuest stuff. Expensive, though. Yeah, it can be. That was another reason. See, I might have been tempted to buy it anyway, even though I had my original set, but it was expensive, and I was like, I got my original set, so I didn't go in for the crowdfunding. Okay, let's take a look at these cards here. Matt says, the furniture was so good in HeroQuest. Just wish it was more interactive. I would add rules like the wizard's table would give the wizard back a used spell, etc. I think things like that are pretty common house rules, because you're right. That is the downside of the furniture. The furniture looks cool, and it might give you some kind of clue as to what's in the room, but if you search for treasure, like what it might give you, but it's still just searching for treasure, and maybe what's in the room kind of gives you a clue as to what you might find, but it's not specifically interactive. Yeah. So now here is a disadvantage to my not having the new game, but I have a solution. Oh, well, actually, so looking through here, we have new equipment cards. We've got elf spells. Oh, we have treasure cards right here. So we've got new treasure cards. But the problem is I realized, the backs of my treasure cards look different because they're from the original size. And I was like, that's a terrible reason to have to rebuy the game, buy the new version of the game, because my treasure deck looks different. Because, you're supposed to shuffle this into the main treasure deck. So what's going to have to happen is card sleeves. So I got some card sleeves with opaque backs. So my treasure deck will need to be sleeved. I sleeve a lot of my cards anyway, but the treasure deck will have to be sleeved with an opaque back so that way we can slide these in and you won't notice. So be aware of that. That's the only flaw so far that I have found with mixing the old stuff and the new stuff is the treasure card backs. New dread spells, was called chaos spells in the original, but new dread spells, new artifact cards, new monster cards, and then this looks like the female elf card. It says, you are the elf, a master of both magic and the sword. You are both you must use both well if you're to triumph. You have the power to cast 3 magical spells, all relating to one element. And so the elf here attacks with 2, defends with 2, body points 6, or body parts, as we always call them. Body parts 6, mind points 4. Don't lose all your body parts when you're down dungeon diving. You're getting, the orcs will remove body parts from you. 2 red dice, starting with short sword and no armor. Now, one thing that I really do like about the new release is that there are dedicated artifact cards. Actually, there probably would be dedicated artifact cards in Killar's Keep and the Witch Lord, because in the original release, you had to cut out artifact cards from the back of the book. And of course, there was no way I was going to do that. So we just had to make up proxies. But now we got actually cards that are artifact cards, so we don't have to cut stuff out of the back of our book, which is great to me. And also, we got new equipment cards, which the original game system did not come with equipment cards. I don't know if the new re-release did at all. All right, so let's look at these. So let's just start with treasure. Airwalk. Oh, so this is a potion here. So treasure cards. This potion enables any hero. So I don't really consider looking at these cards spoilers. The spoilers I consider would be actually looking at the quests. So we're not going to do that. But I'm going to take a look at these cards here because I love game cards and I want to see what's in them. So Airwalk. We've got a new potion. This potion enables any hero to walk on a cushion of air for 1 turn. They do not spring traps during this turn. The hero can walk over pit traps if they can reach an unoccupied space on the other side. This may only be used once. Do not return this card to the bottom of the deck. The Elven Cloak of Passage. This cloak enables the elf to pass through walls and without harm. Caution. There are shaded areas of each quest map that indicate solid rock. If the elf ends their move in one of these areas, they are trapped forever. This cloak can only be used 3 times. Oh, it can be used 3 times. That's powerful. Because that's like the pass-through rock spell. But instead of having to cast a spell and use one of the actions, being able to pass through walls 3 times with the Elven Cloak of Passage. That's really good. Treasure Hoard. Under a loose stone in the floor, you find a small chest. Inside are 300 gold coins. Record the money on your character sheet. Do not return this card to the deck. 300 gold coins is really good. That's a lot. That was one problem. Like my nephews were disappointed they didn't have enough gold after one quest to buy new stuff. But if you get a treasure hoard, you might. And then Wolf's Bane Potion. This potion may be used by any hero suffering from the werewolf's curse. We will check out the werewolf's curse, but I think you can actually suffer from lycanthropy in this. The wolf, this potion may only be used once. Do not return this card to the bottom of the deck. Let's see what the new equipment is. Potion of Recall. An elf who drinks this greenish mixture regains a spell that was cast earlier during the current quest. Choose wisely which spell to recall. This costs 400 gold coins. There was the Alchemist's Bench in the original release, but they didn't have cards. So you could buy potions like this, but they didn't have cards. So now they got cards, which is fantastic because I've mentioned before, I love game cards. No, TM Steelbox says, I wish I had bought this instead of all those WotC books. Let's see here. The first Vision says the first miniature I ever painted were the mice from Mice and Mystics. I don't know that. I did a terrible job. I learned the difference between gloss and matte that day. That sounds cool. Mice and Mystics. Might have to look at that. Yep, Matt says the femur was changed thanks to Games Workshop, but that's an easy thing to manage. Yep, my game has femurs in it. We were playing against femurs on New Year's Eve. And my sister-in-law was like, okay, she was listening to the game. She needs to play with us. She does play games. She plays like a Gloomhaven stuff, but she wasn't playing that game. She was like, okay, can somebody please tell me why you're attacking a bone? What's going on? Yes, thank you, Matt and Vision. Please do like, subscribe, and share. That would be fantastic. So, Potion of Speed. Where an elf, this stream may go long, but that's okay because I've been obsessed with HeroQuest for a while, and I want to look at this. So I'm going to go as long as it takes to look at everything I want to look at. So because ordinarily, if you're new here, we typically go for an hour in the morning, but if something special comes up, like something like this, we may go long. The Potion of Speed. When an elf drinks this syrupy brew, they can move up to 12 spaces per turn instead of rolling the red dice. The elf also gets 2 attacks per turn. These effects end as soon as the elf suffers at least 1 body point of damage. 500 gold coins. Nice. The potions are expensive, so you need some treasure hoard in order to afford these things. Potion of Vision. Drinking the contents of this clear bottle enables an elf to see all secret doors and regular traps coated in gold on the quest map within their line of sight. This effect lasts until the elf suffers at least 1 body point of damage. Potion of Superior Restoration. This refreshing concoction restores any hero's body and mind points to the level they were at when the hero started the quest. This potion may only be used to cure a hero. This potion may also be used to cure a hero who has been turned into a werewolf. All right. Let's look at the new monsters. Let's look at the new monsters. Okay, see, I thought that these elven warriors were monsters because they were these are the elves under the control of Sinestra. So this is the Elven Archer right here. So Elven Archers can move 6. They have a 4 and 1 attack die, defend with 2, and have 3 body points and 2 mind points. So it says the Elven Archers roll 4 combat dice when attacking non-adjacent targets. Yeah, these elves, 4 combat dice and attack. I mean, that's brutal. When they are attacking non-adjacent targets in their line of sight. Oh, when they're attacking non-adjacent. So not only are they distance, but they are good at distance. They attack 4 at range. They roll only 1 combat die when attacking adjacent targets. I thought that was going to be reversed. But it's 4 combat dice at range with their bow. That is brutal. That's going to be brutal. That might be one of those things that we're talking about, balance issues. But on the other hand, maybe more potions and stuff like that helps. We will see. So the Elven Warrior right here that's armed with a sword moves 6, attacks 4, but does not have range. Defend 3, also defends more. Body 3, mind 2. See, these elves are no joke. The Giant Wolf. So the Giant Wolf, see, attacks with 6. Yeah, see, these things are no freaking joke. So the Giant Wolf moves 9, attacks with 6, defends with 3, and has 5 body points. Yeah, body points 3? Yeah, those elves have a lot. But this giant wolf also has 5 body points and 6 attack dice. This ogre here moves 4, so at least it's slow. Attacks with 6, defends with 4. Attacks with 6. I mean, that ogre will thump you. That means the ogre could kill an elf in 1 round. 1 attack. Defend 4, body 5, mind 2. So we've really majorly stepped it up in the bad guy element of this. Oh, great. Glad to have you on the Discord. Wonderful. Let's look at the artifacts. We all love artifacts. So the artifacts, these treasure cards are meant to be shuffled into the treasure deck. So these could be random finds when you search for treasure. If there's no treasure specified in the room and you search for treasure, you go to the treasure deck. So you could have this right here. The artifacts are going to be deliberate finds. You're going to deliberately find the artifacts here. The quest book will define when you get them. So Ancient Staff. This magic staff enables the elf to reflect any monster's spell back at the spellcaster. The spellcaster and all other monsters in the same room suffer its full effects of the spell, while the elf and their companions are immune to the effects. Wow. Not only the caster, but every other monster in the room. This staff works only 5 times, and then it becomes useless. But 5 times is a lot. Ancient Staff. Bone Wand. This artifact enables any hero to control all skeletons in one room for 1 turn. They can move them and make an attack using this turn. The hero can make the skeletons attack each other or any other monsters in the room. The Bone Wand works only once per quest. That's cool. It allows any hero? Yeah, any hero to become a bit of a necromancer. Cal says, is the miniature section the place to post any painted miniatures? Yeah, you can post pictures of painted miniatures there in the Discord. Yep, absolutely. Eddie says, Eddie Har says, are you familiar with the current Kickstarter Orc Quest? Looks amazing. Based off HeroQuest, but with improvements, and you play as the bad guys. I am not familiar with that at all. Yeah, please do post your painted miniatures in the Discord under miniatures. Yeah, I would love to see them. And I noticed there's still messages in Kickstarter and the Discord I got to get to and stuff like that. So I will be catching up on all that this afternoon as well. Elven Boots. These boots grant the elf an extra red die for movement. The elf can roll 3 dice for movement either before or after taking an action. The boots wear out if the elf rolls identical numbers on any 3 dice. This is artifacts. Elven Bow of Vindication. Only the elf may use this bow. An arrow fired from this bow hits and instantly kills any 1 monster within the elf's line of sight, unless the monster rolls a black shield on 1 combat die. Oh, well, that's nice. So that takes out some of these freaking massive monsters in 1 hit. So any arrow fired from this bow hits and instantly kills any 1 monster within the instantly hits. Okay, so the elf doesn't even have to roll. That's even better. It's not like if 1 point's inflicted, it dies. Unless the monster rolls at least 1 black shield on a combat die. And there's a 1 in 6 chance of that. There are only 4 arrows with this bow, and the bow is rendered useless once all the arrows have been fired. This card may be used only in the Mage of the Mirror quest pack. Well, it sounds like you're going to need it. And if Zargon's rolling well, though, sure would suck to black shield those arrows. Elven Bracers. These metallic wristbands have magical powers. When placed on the elf's wrists, these glowing artifacts greatly enhance the elf's physical and mental abilities. The bracers add 2 extra body points and 1 extra mind point to the elf's total. They can only be worn by the elf. Well, that's a big help. When fighting all these guys, 2 extra body points and an extra mind point. The Sky Orb. The hero who possesses this orb may use it to absorb a total of 4 mind points of damage. Each time the hero would normally suffer the loss of 1 mind point, they instead hand Zargon 1 of the blue Sky Orb tokens and suffer no mind point damage. When all 4 tokens have been handed to Zargon, the Sky Orb is rendered useless. Oh, so that's what those must be the Sky Orb tokens right there. Is there 4 of them? So I guess you have that card and put those on top of it. Spell Scroll, Treasure Without Doom. This spell scroll enables a hero to pick cards from the treasure deck, ignoring all wandering monsters and hazard cards until they pick a card showing gold, a potion, gems, or jewels. Cool. Alternatively, it can be used to open one chest without harm, disarming any trap on the chest. The scroll crumbles to dust after it is used. Let's save elf spells. We'll do that one last. Hey, good morning, Ryan. Good morning. Eddie Har says HeroQuest is active now, and people on Board Game Geek already are talking about missions to incorporate it with HeroQuest. Basically, a massive HeroQuest expansion. It's big time hype. Well, that may be something I have to get in on. Let me make note of that. Check out WorkQuest. So, what kind of new dread spells, or as they used to be called, chaos spells, are there? Dispel. This special spell may be cast by a dread spellcaster during a hero's turn. It is used in an attempt to cancel on a hero's turn because it is used in an attempt to cancel a spell cast by a hero. This spell card can be used immediately after the hero casts a spell. First, the dread caster rolls one red die and adds the result to their mind points. The hero does the same. If the dread caster's total is higher, the hero's spell is canceled. Mind Blast. This spell paralyzes one hero within the spellcaster's line of sight. This hero cannot move or attack. The hero defends with one combat die. To break free from the spell, the hero on their turn rolls one red die for each one of their mind points that they currently have. If it is a 6 is rolled on any die, the spell is broken, and the hero can move and attack normally again on future turns. So that's like sleep, the equivalent of the hero's sleep spell. Mirror Magic. This spell may be cast by a dread spellcaster during the hero's turn. This enables the spellcaster to reflect any hero spell back on them. This spell card is used immediately after the hero casts a spell at the dread spellcaster. The hero then suffers the effect of the spell that was intended for the spellcaster. So we could have a whole lot of magic bouncing back and forth, it seems like. Oh, really? Matt says, wow, the Orc Quest has a character called Ragnar the Barbarian King. Yeah, HeroQuest inspired for sure. And only 6 days to go on the Kickstarter, so don't delay. I have not been following Kickstarter lately, so I'm very glad that you guys brought this up. Thank you. I'll check it out. So that was Mirror Magic. Reanimation. This spell enables the spellcaster to reanimate all defeated skeletons, zombies, or mummies in the same room as the caster. These monsters rise from the floor with all lost body points restored and attack the heroes again. That sounds like something the Witch Lord should have. Yeah, exactly. A wizard's duel back and forth. Lots of things being reflected back and forth. Restore Dread. This spell may be cast only on monsters. It restores up to 6 lost body points to either the spellcaster or any monster within the spellcaster's line of sight. Well, that would definitely suck to have that happen to you, especially after taking down all those hit points on those body points on those guys. Summon Wolves. This spell conjures up a number of giant wolves to attack the spellcaster's enemies. Place the giant wolves adjacent to the spellcaster. To determine how many giant wolves appear, roll 1 red die and check the result. 1 or 2, 1, 3 or 4, 2, 5 or 6, 3 giant wolves. And those wolves are bad news. So this is Werewolf's Curse. This is probably what they're talking about when they're talking about the curse. This spell may be cast on any hero. This hero rolls a red die. A roll of 6 means the spell has no effect. Any other result means the hero is now afflicted by the werewolf's curse. See Turning Heroes into Werewolves section of the Mage in the Mirror quest book for more information. Bad news. So what does the elf get? We've got new elf spells. So this would be an alternative selection for the elf. So the elf doesn't have to necessarily take the elemental magic. See you later, Cal. Good having you here. Deep Sleep. This spell may be cast on any monster within line of sight. If the monster has from 1 to 3 mind points, the monster falls asleep immediately. It stays asleep until Zargon's next turn. The monster cannot defend itself against a hero's attack while it is asleep. So, I remember this spell is a bit strange because the monster is going to wake up on Zargon's turn, which means the monster will be able to attack. But this means that the elf needs to be early in the lineup. See, this spell is weird because its usefulness depends on where you are in the lineup. Because if the elf goes last and then Zargon goes, you would never cast this. You have no effect because the elf would cast it and then the monster would wake up immediately. So the elf in the quest pack then needs to be going early in the round in order to make use of this spell, because you would basically be preventing the monster from defending itself on the round. So the elf might need to go first. So could we kill... how many mind points? So that could put an ogre to sleep. So that would be a way to take care of the ogre. It would also be a way to take care of a giant wolf. Well, and an elven archer. So actually that may be a key spell and a key strategy here. You want the elf to have this spell if you're going to be fighting these monsters, and you want the elf to go early in the lineup. And that way, or maybe first in the lineup. That way the barbarian, the dwarf, and the wizard can pummel one of the big bad guys. This spell would not be useful in solo play. Disappear. This spell may be cast on the spellcaster or any one hero of choice. The hero moves unseen as if they had rolled an 8 or lower on their red movement die. Oh, the hero moves unseen if they roll an 8 or lower on their movement die. If a 9, 10, 11, or 12 is rolled, the spell ends. The hero... So it's not saying, if you roll that, not if you move more than 8. The hero can only move and open doors. They cannot attack, search, disarm, cast spells, spring traps, or be affected by the attack or spells unless the hero chooses to cancel the spell. I'm interested to know how that plays. Well, Matt says, I think they did that on purpose to make us vets change up our order instead of the barbarian going off. Yeah, traditionally the barbarian leads off, but in one of my strategy videos, I don't think a bad strategy is to have the wizard go first, actually. Because that way the wizard isn't having his line of sight blocked. The wizard can go to some place and cast a spell. Because sometimes if the wizard moves last, the wizard is sometimes not able to effectively cast spells against the monsters because by that time the heroes have blocked all the line of sight because you got to protect the wizard. So I don't think it's a bad idea to sometimes have the wizard go first. So the wizard can go into a room, whatever, attack monsters, use the spells, orient their line of sight, and then all the other heroes can move in and protect the wizard after that. I don't think that's a bad way to go. The downside to that, of course, is that the wizard is basically exploring and can potentially fall victim to traps. There's a trade-off there, but I think there is an argument for it. Double image. This spell may be cast on the spellcaster or any one hero of the caster chooses. It causes a lifelike image of the hero to appear. If an attack against the hero is successful, they roll 1 red die. On 1, 2, or 3, the image is attacked, and the hero suffers no damage. The spell is broken the moment the hero can no longer see a monster. Now, see, this is another one of those spells that says the moment, and I talked about that in spell strategy, and also when I talked about the strategy at which we had played the Dinner and a Board Game episode with HeroQuest. That's something I might house rule, because I think that the stuff here that says the moment can be abused by Zargon. So I would prefer that with the other spell. What spell was that? Oh, yeah, it was Courage that we were concerned about, because I think that's open for abuse. I would say that like Courage is broken on the hero's turn. Or like if the hero's turn ends and the hero can no longer see a monster, then it ends. So I would probably say the same kind of thing in here. So we've done lots of analysis in some of the HeroQuest videos on whether or not that's a good idea, or whether or not that's can be the subject of abuse. I want to go with what the spirit is. What's the spirit of that rule? The moment the hero can no longer see a monster, because that's not really a defined term. I would prefer to define that as something like this ends on the hero's, if at the end of the hero's turn, they can no longer see a monster or something like that. Be interested to know what you think about that. Flashback. By casting the spell, the spellcaster or any one hero the spellcaster chooses can replay their entire turn. All results of the hero's first turn are canceled. You can cast this after any hero's turn. Casting the spell does not count as your action for the turn. So if you just completely flub an attack roll, I guess that's when you want to use that. The elf can come in and save you. Maybe that would be one to, like, if you put something into deep sleep and then you flub something, go back, flub the attack on the sleeping creature, flashback. Or, man, that would also be useful if you expended one of those arrows from that bow of vindication or whatever it was called, and the bad guy did save, flashback. Hypnotic Blaze. When this spell is cast, an illusion of a huge animated flame appears. Every figure in the room or corridor, except for the spellcaster, must roll 1 red die. A figure that rolls equal to or less than its mind points is unaffected by the illusion. Rolling a number greater than its mind points means this figure is paralyzed for 3 turns, unable to move, attack, or defend. Slow. This spell reduces any one monster's movement to 1 square per turn. The monster also rolls 1 less combat die when it attacks or defends. The monster's movement and combat die cannot be less than 1. This effect lasts until the monster is killed or is out of the spellcaster's line of sight. Oh, well, that does help out. Like, if you got to get away from, well, like, let's say the giant wolf, because that thing's fast and it's nasty. So you could slow down the giant wolf. That sounds like a good idea, but you've got to keep it within your line of sight. So the elf's got to be, like, walking with it, right? When is it? This spell lasts until the monster is killed or is out of the spellcaster's line of sight. So Zargon could move it out of the elf's line of sight. So that's another one of those rules. Would it be broken on the elf's turn? Because if it moves out and then the elf follows it, would that work? I ordered this from Amazon. I pre-ordered this on Amazon and it showed up like 2 days ago. Is this Hasbro Pulse really not shipping yet? Slow is vicious. Yeah, but it has that limitation. But yeah, that could definitely be vicious. So that would take the defend dice. That would also take the defend dice of the giant wolf down to 2. But it would still roll 5 attack dice. It's getting near it. It's rough. Time Stop. This spell may be cast on the spellcaster or any one hero the spellcaster chooses. It temporarily stops time for everyone else on the game board, enabling the hero to take another turn immediately after their current turn. Lots of time-related things, too. So how does that work? See, it says enabling one hero to take a turn immediately after their current turn. But what if you cast it on somebody else? It doesn't say that you can cast this out of order. This card, it does not say you can cast out of order. Twist Wood. This spell causes any wooden weapon such as staff, bow, or crossbow to become warped and is rendered useless. Well, that would be a way to stop these horrific elf archers that are shooting at a distance for combat dice. Warp their bow up. All right, so those are the cards. What do you think? 82 FDNY says, get those cards in plastic ASAP. I will. I got to sleeve a bunch of my HeroQuest cards. Now, one of the reasons that, we kept our original HeroQuest in great condition, and it survived unsleeved for years. I really didn't even know about sleeving cards, but all of my original HeroQuest is nice and sleeved now. So it protects the cards from, like, the nephews, if they're eating chips and stuff like that at the table, protects all of the stuff, all the cards from greasy fingers. So yes, these will also be sleeved up, and the treasure cards will have to be sleeved in an opaque way. I'll have to re-sleeve my original treasure cards as well, so that the deck works like it's supposed to work. Vision says, some of those sound like they were to balance the game out. Yeah, and it probably, you're going to have to be really careful as the elf about which ones you take, because that may be a really important part of the whole strategy, is which of those elf spells are really necessary to counter everything else that is in the game. I'm going to take a look in here. We're not going to look at quests. We're not going to look at quests. I don't want to do any spoilers, but we're going to open up the quest book and see what the rules are. But we're not going to look at the quests, obviously. 82 FDNY says, the worst part about HeroQuest is being 44 years old with no one to play with. That would be the worst part of HeroQuest. I agree. So, okay. So, the Alchemist Shop. Can I lower this down further? Oh, yeah, there we go. The Alchemist Shop. So that's what I was saying, that this was a part of the original game, but there weren't cards. So now we've got the Potion of Speed, Potion of Superior Restoration. So those are right here. 3 of these potions can be used only by the elf. Different potions may also be purchased from the Alchemist Shop in other quest packs. So at least when you buy one, you can put a card. So we looked at all the miniatures that we've got. Okay. Design your own quest. Matt was working on a design your own quest where he's put it out. The HeroQuest online quest designer. The quest map symbols shown here are the exact size needed on the design your own adventure quest map found in the back of this quest map and provided with the HeroQuest game system. Okay, so that was the iron entrance door. This iron door is placed on the edge of the game board in each quest, because in the original game you go in by the spiral staircase. In most of the expansions, you enter through the iron door. So that's on the edge of the game board. Heroes line up outside the door to begin the quest. In some quests, this door also serves as an exit door. The wooden exit door, in most quests, this special wooden door is used to exit the game board at the end of the quest. So rather than in the original game system, coming in via the spiral staircase, completing your quest, and then trying to get back to the spiral staircase, you have got to enter at the exit door, enter at the iron door, and then you've got to leave via the wooden exit door. So it keeps the heroes needing to search after the quest and continue after the quest is complete, because you got to leave through this door. So the last thing you got to do is find that door. In many quests in the original system, once you complete the quest, there's nothing that stops you from going right back to the spiral staircase in many cases. We do have portcullis. So they did call it the portcullis. The portcullis says some of these massive iron gates open when the heroes spring a certain trap, while others are unlocked by the brass key or forced open by brute strength. Heroes and monsters cannot see through the portcullis until it is opened. Oh, they cannot see through it. I thought they could see through it. So I guess I'm wrong about that. Heroes and monsters cannot see through a portcullis until it is opened. Okay. Trap doors, we saw those. The trap doors are used to link 2 visually unconnected rooms via an unseen tunnel. When landing on one trap door, the hero moves instantly to the other trap door. The Sky Orb and Sky Tokens. This artifact is a mystical crystal orb that protects the heroes who are carrying it. It can absorb up to 4 points of damage, of mind point damage, before it becomes useless. When a hero finds the Sky Orb, they take it and the 4 Sky Orb tokens. Whenever the hero suffers mind point damage, they give up 1 Sky Orb token for each mind point of damage. Give up the token with 4 points of light first. Oh, I see. So that's why it's got these 4 things here. And then the one with the 3 points, etc. When the hero has no more tokens, the Sky Orb is useless. So that's counting how many uses as well. That's 2 ways to count uses. How many of these things have you got? But then also the number of sparkles on the orb. So the mirrors. These standing mirrors are secret portals that lead to great treasure and hidden rooms. Fit these into the plastic stands when they are called for in HeroQuest. So here is how that room is set up. See, we've got the room here, then we've got this backboard right here. The Archmage, which might be fun to build. Yeah, it is. Vision. I was not expecting that at all. Interesting that no line of sight beyond the portcullis. I agree. That seems strange to me. I thought that's how this was going to be distinguished from doors. I thought you were adding a new kind of aspect to it. The Archmage Sinestra commands her minions to carry out her evil plans from the center of her room of power in this room. The wall should be erected at the back of the sanctum as shown below. When a hero has opened the appropriate door, place the sanctum room with walls on the game board as shown. Oh, and this is quicksand. The other thing is quicksand. This area contains a bottomless pit filled with quicksand that threatens to suck in careless or unlucky heroes. Lunarium Flask. The glittering silver liquid in this flask is the only means of opening the mirror entry into the realm of reflection where the Princess Melandriel is held captive. Only the prospector can identify true lunarium. The long pit trap. If a hero wants to jump over this pit the long way, they must have at least 3 squares of movement left after they move next to the pit. The hero then rolls 1 combat die. A black shield means the hero has jumped across safely. A black shield, whoa, that's not easy. A black shield means the hero has jumped across safely, using up 3 squares of movement. The hero can continue to move if they have movement left. Any result other than a black shield means the hero falls in the pit, suffering 2 points of body damage. 2 points is rough, too. On a subsequent turn, the hero must roll a 5 or a 6 on a red die to climb out of the pit. So it's even harder to get out of than ordinary pits. While in the pit, the hero must roll 1 less combat die when attacking or defending, but never less than 1 die. Note, these traps can be jumped across the short side, the same as regular pit traps. Weapon packs. We saw these weapons right here. These tiles represent weapons and other items dropped by the heroes when they are transformed into wolves. Oh, so that's what that's for. Oh, the wolf tokens are used to represent heroes in wolf form. Could we find some lycanthrope hero miniatures to use? I bet we could. They might be from the lycanthrope focused zombie side game. We might be able to find them. Uh, 82 FDNY says, too much cardboard in this expansion. I hope future expansions have large figures like the Frozen Horror and the Dragon. Well, we do. Yeah, well, you hope that future expansions have large figures like the Frozen Horror. Yeah, there is no major Frozen Horror. We do have the Elf Queen in this, the evil Elf Queen, but it's not a large miniature. Really, I mean, there isn't too much. I don't think there's too much cardboard. I mean, there isn't actually that much here. It would be cool to have, I guess they didn't do this because the original didn't have it, but it would be cool to have the lycanthrope hero figures. But that's probably also a really special case scenario. Like, which one's going to be turned into a hero? That sounds like something perfect for 3D printing or 3D design. Like, what does an elf lycanthrope look like? Or the wizard lycanthrope? Well, this one comes with furniture. The Frozen Horror didn't come with furniture. So this one came with new furniture. So I guess everything's a trade-off. Thundercats? Like what they would look like? Yeah, I'm sure somebody's probably done that already. Somebody's probably already made the things that are out there on like Thingiverse or Etsy or something like that. I found on Etsy a really cool female wizard for HeroQuest, and also what was I looking at? Oh, an elf and male druid. It's not like I need them, but I kind of really wanted them. It's not like I don't have enough to paint up. So playing the quests. The quests in the Mage of the Mirror are generally played the same way as the quests in HeroQuest game system. It is especially important that these quests be played in order. As a single game system, heroes are returned to full strength, or as in the game system, they return to full strength between quests. There are a few gameplay differences in the Mage of the Mirror. Quests. The first 3 quests are solo adventures, designed for play by an elf alone. These can be used as an introduction to HeroQuest for new players, or as fun quests to play when only 2 players are available. Also, if a new elf is to join a party of experienced characters, these 3 quests allow the elf to catch up with the other heroes by gaining gold, equipment, and magic items. The rest of the quests are designed for play by groups, with the final 2 meant to be played as a double-sided quest, where the heroes must cross between the 2 to achieve ultimate victory. So that's actually another great point. Because these things are so big and bad, you may need the other heroes other than the elf. So the elf needs to go through these to level up. And whatever treasure the elf gets is going to help out the elf in Quest 4. But then also you probably need experienced heroes, the barbarian, the wizard, and the dwarf, to have their equipment from having come through some other games. That would also be really helpful, because they don't need to be starting adventurers. There's no levels in HeroQuest, but equipment and gear. Starting and ending a quest. If the heroes do not always start and end their quests on the spiral stairway, the message from Mentor at the beginning of each quest tells where the heroes start and end the quest. When there is an iron entry or wooden exit door, it is shown on the quest map with an arrow pointing inward toward the game board. When there is an entry door, it's always placed on the game board in its specified location before each quest begins. At the start of an adventure, the heroes line up outside the door and ask Zargon to open it. The exit is shown on the quest map with an arrow pointing outward from the game board. Note, as with regular doors, an exit door is not put on the game board by Zargon until a hero looks down the appropriate corridor. An exit door is usually opened in the same way as a regular door unless specified in the quest notes. Mind points. When a hero reaches 0 mind points, and there wasn't a whole lot for mind points to do in the original game system, but I believe we are adding stuff now. Trash Eater Comics, welcome. Good to see you. Trash Eater Comics says, I love that they are making so much stuff. Elbow coughs. Is this the expansion? Is in this expansion more 2-player stuff? Yes. So there's the first 3 quests are for Zargon and 1 elf. While I dig they are redoing the old stuff, I also hope they do more totally new stuff. Well, I hope they will too. I hope they will too. Like I never had this one as a kid, so I'm glad they re-released it. But I'm hoping that in the future they do new stuff and also more advanced stuff, like bringing back an advanced rules for HeroQuest. So by the time you've done this, you're looking for more advanced stuff. I hope they do some type of advanced. And of course, there's advanced HeroQuest that I've got over there on the shelf that was done by Games Workshop. But I really hope we get some more advanced rules for the game here. Vision says HeroQuest heroes retain their experience through games. Well, there's no experience points. So technically, they're not retaining experience through games, but you retain your equipment, and your equipment helps you get more powerful. And your treasure that you find can help you get more powerful. So if you have been finding artifacts and buying treasure between quests, then you retain all of that between quests. And that's what's going to give the heroes more attack dice and defend dice and things like that. So that's the way the game, that instead of experience, you just level up with better equipment and artifacts and magic items. McDougal, hello. It says, I need to paint more of my miniatures. I've only painted like a handful of Cool Boys from A Song of Ice and Fire. Oh, no, AOS so far. Well, paint with us on Crafter's Corner. That's why I started that. I needed that because I got to paint so much stuff. That's Sunday nights. That time is a good one to reserve. So when a hero reaches 0 mind points, they are not dead, but in shock. A hero cannot go below 0 mind points. They roll only 1 red die to move, attack, and with only 1 red combat die, and they defend with only 2 combat dice. Armor, weapons, and most artifacts do not increase attack and defense when the hero is in shock. The hero's attack and defense dice can be temporarily increased by some spells or spell scrolls. These extra mind points gained from certain artifacts, such as the Talisman of Lore, can be lost in battle. For example, the Barbarian with the Talisman of Lore, for a total of 3 mind points, goes into shock after they accumulate 3 mind points of damage. So mind points become more important. In this and other quest packs, it's important to keep track of a hero's current mind points. Tell the players to use the bottom row of body point boxes on their character sheet to record mind point damage. Updated spell system. The Elven spell cards introduced in this quest pack are an updated spell group for the elf's use only. The elf may choose either this spell group or any other after the wizard chooses their first spell group. If the elf does not choose from these Elven spell cards, they are removed from play. If the elf does not choose the updated Elven spell cards, they must pick only 3 of the 8 spells to use in each quest. The elf may use either this spell group. Surely not all of them. No, that's not what it meant, right? The elf can choose those 3 spells. Oh, Age of Sigmar. Yes, AOS, Age of Sigmar. I'm not in on Age of Sigmar, but so I didn't instantly connect that. But some of the miniatures look cool. If they bring back something like Warhammer Fantasy Battles, I might get back involved. Oh, so here's the elf. This specifically says the elf has the power to cast 3 magical spells, all relating to 1 element. If the elf does not choose from these Elven spell cards, they are removed from play. Yeah, so I think you have to choose 3 spells. So you're choosing 3 of those elf spells, I'm pretty sure. Elven riches. If a quest in this book does not specifically call out a reward or lack thereof for a room containing a treasure chest, then the first time that room is searched for treasure, the hero gets 200 gold coins. Because it does suck when the treasure chest is empty. Mercenaries. Mercenaries may be hired for any group quest in this quest pack, but not for the solo quests, if they're available to you, such as by owning the Frozen Horror quest pack. So Frozen Horror did also come with mercenaries. So maybe getting some mercenaries in here is also a good idea. That would give you some more attack power. So we have the mercenaries because I've got the Frozen Horror pack. Rules clarifications. Passing items. A hero can pass a potion, artifact, weapon, or other item to another hero only if the two heroes are in adjacent squares and neither hero is adjacent to a monster. The spiral stairway. During a quest, if a hero stands on a spiral stairway and attacks monsters, the monster can attack back on Zargon's turn. When a spiral stairway is used as the exit to the end of the quest, the hero who moves onto that spiral staircase is immediately removed from the game board. Wandering monsters. Several quests in this quest pack have multiple wandering monsters. Those monsters may appear if a hero draws a wandering monster card from the treasure deck, or if a hero moves onto a wandering monster trap, as described below. For example, if the quest notes say wandering monsters in this quest, 3 goblins. 3 goblins? Well, multiple wandering monsters. If the quest notes say wandering monsters in this quest, 3 goblins, place 3 goblins adjacent to the hero who initiated the wandering monster encounter. If fewer than 3 adjacent squares are available, place the remaining monsters as close to the hero as possible. So additional wandering monster trap. When a hero moves onto a square with a trap symbol shown here, this one right here, the monster or monsters listed as wandering monsters for that quest appear on any square or squares adjacent to the hero or as close as possible. The monsters immediately attack and the hero defends. If the hero has not already taken an action that turn, they may do so after they defend. Otherwise, the turn passes to the next player. After the wandering monster trap, each wandering monster trap can only be activated once. Monsters cannot activate it. Ignore the trap after the first time the hero triggers it. Wandering monster traps are so well concealed that they are not detected when the hero searches for traps. Not detected by searching traps. There's no tiles for wandering monster traps. Large monsters. When a monster takes up more than one space, like the giant wolf in the quest pack we were looking at, that monster can attack anyone in any adjacent square, including diagonal, even if the monster is facing away from the target. So not worried about the facing of the miniature itself. Selling excess items. As the heroes gain better equipment, they may sell some of their old items from the armory. Items can only be listed for sale in the armory. Only the items listed for sale in the armory can be sold back to the armory. The hero receives gold coins equal to half of the armory's price when selling items to the armory. Thus, a hero who sells a longsword, which costs 350, may sell it back for 175. Heroes or items sold to the armory for odd sums can be sold for half price rounded down. Treasure. Large gold coin treasures found in the hero chest, in the treasure chest, should be divided among all surviving heroes. Okay. Additional artifact cards. We were looking at those. These artifacts are similar to the artifacts in the game system, main game system. When the hero finds one of these artifacts, they should record it on their character sheet. Spell scroll. The treasure without doom artifact in this quest is a spell scroll. Is used just like the spell cards in the game system. However, a spell scroll can be used by any hero, not just the wizard or elf. A hero should record the spell scroll in their character sheet and return the spell scroll to the deck. Additional treasure cards. The 4 treasure cards are added to the quest pack should be mixed into the game system's treasure cards before play begins. Turning heroes into werewolves. This is going to hurt heroes. In Quest 7, the heroes may meet werewolves. Use the giant wolf figures for these accursed monsters. So not all giant wolves are werewolves. But when you meet a werewolf, you use the giant wolf figure. Giant wolves are considered werewolves only in Quest 7. Okay. If a hero is affected by a werewolf's cursed spell or injured by the attack of a werewolf, the hero is cursed as a werewolf to switch between hero form and wolf form. At the start of every turn, the hero must roll 2 red dice to see if they transform into a wolf. A roll of 2 through 9 means the hero remained in hero form and under the control of the player. The hero may move and act normally. If a roll of 10 through 12 means the hero transforms into wolf form and Zargon controls them as a monster for 1 turn on Zargon's next turn. When the hero transforms into a wolf, replace their figure with a wolf tile. All of their possessions are left in the square in which they transformed. Place a weapons tile pack into that square representing the hero's former possessions. The weapons pack tile stays in this space until the hero returns to pick up their possessions. Monsters cannot take the weapon pack. This wolf is a true monster with no hero abilities and the abilities of monsters. Moves on Zargon's turns, attacks as a giant wolf, unaffected by pit traps, etc. At the end of Zargon's turn, the wolf transforms back into the hero and returns to the player's control. The hero figure replaces the wolf tile. The hero must roll this transformation each turn until they are cured by drinking a wolfsbane potion or a potion of superior restoration in the alchemist shop. Elven archers. These monsters appear in several quests and are under Zargon's control. Elven archers may attack with 4 combat dice against any non-adjacent target in their line of sight. They attack with only 1 combat die if the target is adjacent. If an elf's archer's bow becomes warped from the Twistwood spell, for instance, they roll only 1 combat die to attack. The Elven Archer's statistics are detailed in the cards that come with the quest pack, as well as the monster chart in the back of this book. Zargon, study this book carefully. While it is your guide to running these adventures, it may not answer every question you have during play. When in doubt, use your experience and imagination to make the best choice. Remember that you are the ultimate authority in HeroQuest. Okay. The map quest guide. The next page is the quests. Let's see what Mentor is telling us here. See you later, Draco. We're almost done here. We're going to see what Mentor says. Cursed to turn into a wolf. Yep. I'd sleep so I can have a wolf dream and be an alpha geek. So a message from Mentor. How is this going to get started? Look, see, we had a conversation. This video. Like, who is this? This is supposed to be Zargon. But yet this is used as Mentor. There's a video about this, about who this is, and this confusion and controversy about who this character represents. But here it's implying that it's Mentor. But no, it's always been Zargon. That's been a depiction of Zargon. Like, why would Mentor be on the Zargon screen? It's Zargon on the Zargon screen. Anyway, a message from Mentor. Ah, at last you're here, my elven friend. Our time together must be brief, for your skills are needed urgently. As you might have heard, the Elven Kingdom is in turmoil. Princess Melandriel, who is but a child, has been kidnapped. Queen Teleria has informed me in private that she received a ransom note from her evil sister, the Archmage Sinestra, whose hubris has led her to a diabolical plan. The note demands the Queen abdicate her throne and turn all power over to Sinestra. Only then will the 5-year-old princess be returned unharmed. The Queen has asked me to find an elven hero who has the strength and courage to lead a small band of heroes into Sinestra's stronghold to rescue the princess. Because the girl's life would be forfeited if such a rescue mission failed, Queen Teleria insists that the chosen hero first prove their worth. The Queen has decided upon 3 quests for the elf to undertake on their own before she agrees to the rescue attempt. I have chosen you to lead the rescue party. If you survive the 3 solo quests the Queen proposes, your heroic companions may rejoin you as you embark on the mission to rescue Princess Melandriel. You must succeed in this mission, for your entire race is in danger should Sinestra gain the throne. The safety of the realm is also at stake. If for what I fear is true, I suspect that Zargon is lurking behind Sinestra's schemes. As the willing servant of Zargon, she may call upon the forces of dread to thwart your mission. Do not underestimate the importance the task before you, brave elf. If you fail, the king will lose the power and strength of Queen Teleria's people to Zargon, and that will surely mean the end of the realm. Mentor. We do have the design your own quest, but hey, use Matt's quest creator. Yep, reference on the monsters right back here, but we saw their things, and that is artifact reference. I'm excited. I like it. I'm glad I got it. So that's going to be. I'll put out a reminder to everybody that you might want to spray paint your miniatures or spray prime your miniatures, because I'm going to spray prime these during lunch, which actually is getting close. It's already 11:04. My time anyway. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. There will be no evening live stream on Thursdays. So this is ordinarily a day we have off, but there will be videos that are clips from yesterday's stuff with Wizards of the Coast and the OGL coming out on the channel. So if you missed that and you don't want to watch the entire live stream where we were reading a doctoral dissertation, there will be certain parts of it that come out on certain topics for the rest of the day. But then also, unless there is some all of a sudden breaking news from WotC that we should cover, like they released something, then I might live stream. But I've got to clean this house. I've got a lot of other things to do. So I will see you around on Discord, and I will see you in the comment section on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed it. I will talk to you later. Bye.